at the Activate Networks Summit. I'm Butch Stearns of the Pulse Network. I'm here with Gregg Betheil from the New York City Public School System. Greg, how are you?
Good, doing okay today.
Tell us what you do with the New York City Public School System.
I lead our Office of School Programs and Partnerships, and aside from a range of curricular areas that we oversee, we're kind of the front door for the Department of Education, helping community partners, libraries, museums get involved in the schools and help kids achieve.
How many schools in the New York City school system?
1,754.
Wow.
About 1 in 300 Americans comes to school with us every day.
Really?
Really.
So what brings you here to this summit? What brings you here talking about the power of social networks and organizational networks?
Well, education's a people business. So we have 135,000 staff in the Department of Education, about 75,000 of which are teachers. We've got 1.1 million kids and twice as many parents, and just a ton of community partners that really help us get our jobs done. And so we've been making a lot of progress in the last few years, getting kids ready for college and career, but we still have a long way to go. And the idea that Activate Networks can help us understand kind of the network of partners and folks that influence educational outcomes, we're going to begin to try and understand how to put that set of analytics to work for us.
You were telling me before you sat down you're starting a project next week. What's it all about?
It's a project that's going to bring together partners, folks like the American Museum of Natural History and the Hall of Science, as well as the wide range of arts partners, but really trying to map out what it is that some of our science, technology, engineering, and math partners do, and our arts partners. How do they work with schools? How do they work with teachers? How do they impact students? And can we literally get a network map of what all those relationships are that might begin to inform how we can put them to better use? Which
I would imagine when you look at the business model of that, both from the organizational side and from the educational side, can work great for both partners. Some of the brightest young people in the world, they could find right away, and you could get opportunities for them going forward.
Without a doubt. I mean, for our cultural institutions, our kids are their patrons. Kids are going to the museums all the time. They're showing up at the libraries. But over time, eventually, these are the kids who are going to go out and work in jobs all across New York City. So we hope it's a win-win for everybody. We can really understand where our energies are best directed and not waste a lot of time around the margins, but really do those things that are going to be high impact.
So when you think about New York City public schools and you think about the thousands of kids that are in there, being educated, and you think about what Activate Networks preaches about, the power and harnessing that power of social networks, of organizational networks, of the people that are in charge of working with your clients, your students. It must be exciting for you because, I always say this, I have 3 teenage daughters and they're teaching me more than I teach them.
That's for sure.
So I'm sure you learn something new every day in the school systems.
There is never a dull moment in the New York City public schools, but it's really exciting to think about the fact that what we all know inherently, you probably remember your first teacher really well.
Yes.
And that teacher had an influence on you.
Miss Montavon.
We try and avoid that as often as we can.
I'm just telling you, I did.
But the bottom line is it's those relationships that matter. Yes. And we know it's not just one teacher in any given year, but it's a whole coterie of adults, both in school and out of school, that make a difference for kids. And if we can get a better picture of who's making the biggest difference and do more of that, we hope that we can get more of our kids to the kind of college and career-ready outcomes that all of us expect for our own kids.
What's one thing you'll take away from this summit that either surprised you, reinforced something you were thinking about, or was a light bulb moment for you?
I think there's been a lot of all of those. I think probably most importantly, we're not the only ones thinking about this stuff. It's good to know that a lot of other industries are grappling with these same challenges in their organizational dynamics.
Great point.
But also finding out that we're really on the leading edge of this work. Not a lot of other educators here, not a lot of folks trying to apply this. Our system is a really large system, so this might be well applied, but we've really got to try this out, prove that it can work, and then hopefully expand the practice more deeply in the long run.
Nice talking with you, Greg.
You too.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
New York and Boston guys aren't supposed to get along, but we did. I'm Butch Stearns of the Pulse Network. This is the Activate Network Summit 2012.